สู่การถ่ายทอดสดกิจกรรมวิสาขบูชานานาชาติครั้งที่ 15 เรื่องพระพุทธศาสนากับการพัฒนามนุษย์นะคะวันนี้คุณผู้ชมอยู่กับดิฉันกรองแก้วชัยกฤษพันเอกประสมสินทองรองผู้อำนวยการกองอนุศาสนาจารย์กรมเสมียนตรากระทรวงกลาโหมและผู้ช่วยศาสตราจารย์ดร.ชยานนท์กุลทนบุตรคณะศิลปศาสตร์มหาวิทยาลัยเทคโนโลยีราชมงคลพระนครค่ะวันนี้เรา3คนก็จะมานำเสนอภาพรวมของการจัดประชุมกิจกรรมวิสาขบูชาครั้งนี้รวมไปถึงภาพรวมกิจกรรมที่เกิดขึ้นของเมื่อวานนี้ด้วยนะคะวันนี้เนี่ยหัวข้อการประชุมน่าสนใจมากๆเรื่องของการศึกษาเชิงพุทธกับการเสริมสร้างพลังของเยาวชนนะคะเดี๋ยวเนื้อหาเรื่องนี้เนี่ยเดี๋ยวจะมาคุยกันก่อนที่จะมีการประชุมแต่ว่าช่วงแรกวันนี้เรา3คนจะพาคุณผู้ชมย้อนไปดูบรรยากาศที่เกิดขึ้นเมื่อวานนี้กันก่อนนะคะเมื่อวานนี้อาจารย์ชยานนท์มาตั้งแต่เช้าใช่ไหมคะได้เห็นบรรยากาศกิจกรรมทั้งหมดที่เกิดขึ้นเมื่อวานพันเอกประสมมากี่โมงคะ
เมื่อวานไม่ได้มาครับ
วันนี้เรามาพร้อมกันเรา3คนเนี่ยนะคะถือว่าเป็นโอกาสดีที่จะเจอกันปีละครั้งนะคะแล้วก็มีเรื่องราวดีๆนะคะมาให้คุณผู้ชมได้ติดตามกันเดี๋ยวไปดูนะคะบรรยากาศเมื่อวานนี้นะคะเมื่อวานนี้ถือว่าผู้นำชาวพุทธจากทั่วโลกมาเจอกันทุกปีเหมือนเดิมนะคะอาจารย์เป็นยังไงบ้าง
ประมาณ30กว่าประเทศครับเมื่อวานก็มาได้แสดงสุนทรพจน์นะครับเกี่ยวกับเรื่องวันวิสาขะจริงๆหัวข้อในปีนี้เราใช้คำว่า Buddhist Contribution for Human Development นะครับถ้าแปลเป็นไทยก็คือคุณูปการของพระพุทธศาสนาต่อการพัฒนามนุษย์ครับผม
ค่ะนี่นะคะอันนี้เป็นบรรยากาศเมื่อวานนี้สมเด็จพระสังฆราชสกลมหาสังฆปรินายกนะคะมาเป็นองค์ประธานด้วยใช่ไหมคะมีกล่าวสัมโมทนียกถานะคะ
ครับผม
ภายในงานนี้ด้วยแล้วก็เนี่ยค่ะเป็นชาวพุทธจากทั่วโลกนะคะที่เดินทางมาร่วมกิจกรรมอยากให้อาจารย์เล่าบรรยากาศเมื่อวานใน
ครับเมื่อวานที่องค์สมเด็จพระอริยวงศาคตยานสมเด็จพระสังฆราชท่านได้กล่าวสัมโมทนียกถานะครับเกี่ยวกับเรื่องอริยมรรคมีองค์8นะครับมีสัมมาทิฏฐินะครับเป็นธรรมประการต้นนะครับผม
นี่นะคะอันนี้เป็นพระพรหมบัณฑิตนะคะ
ครับผมตอนนี้ผู้แทนพระองค์นะครับ
ค่ะนี่เป็นกิจกรรมช่วงของพิธีเปิดอย่างเป็นทางการนะคะเราก็ได้เห็นการรวมพลังนะคะของชาวพุทธจากทั่วต้องบอกว่าทั่วโลกจริงๆนะคะที่เดินทางมาภาพบรรยากาศแบบนี้เนี่ยจะมีให้เห็นทุกปีนะคะแล้วก็จะมีเนื้อหาที่เป็นเรื่องราวที่ทำให้เราได้มาหยุดคิดพิจารณานะคะเรื่องของการนำหลักธรรมคำสอนทางพระพุทธศาสนามาปรับใช้ในชีวิตประจำวันนะคะนี่นะคะสมเด็จพระสังฆราช
ตอนนี้ท่านองค์อธิการบดีมหาจุฬาลงกรณราชวิทยาลัยนะครับผมอันนี้ก็เป็นบรรยากาศนะครับในขณะที่เปิดนะครับเมื่อวานก็มีพลเอกชัดชัยสาริกัญญะนะครับรองนายกรัฐมนตรีนะครับท่านเป็นตัวแทนนะครับผมได้มาเปิดงานวิสาขบูชาครั้งที่15ครับ
วันนี้นะคะอย่างที่บอกไปก็จะเป็นการประชุมการสัมมนานะคะเรื่องของการศึกษาเชิงพุทธกับการเสริมสร้างพลังของเยาวชนฟังชื่อเนี่ยก็น่าสนใจแล้วเมื่อสักครู่ทางอาจารย์ชยานนท์ก็มาถามน้องแนนรู้ไหมว่าการศึกษาเนี่ยคืออะไรความหมายเราก็บอกว่าเราก็เรียนร่ำเรียนมาจนอายุปูนนี้
เราเรียนกันมาตั้งเยอะนะท่านอาจารย์นะครับ
ถามว่าการศึกษาก็การเรียนหรือเปล่าคะ
คือถ้าผมไม่เรียนบาลีผมก็ไม่รู้รากศัพท์ของมันเลยนะเราแค่ท่องว่าศึกษาคือตามที่เราเข้าใจ
ก็การเรียนแล้วก็ไปโรงเรียนทุกวันแล้วก็เป็นการเรียนรู้
แต่มันมีอยู่2 คำน้องแนนก็คือการศึกษาเชิงพุทธกับเยาวชน2 คำนี้น่าวันนี้น่าสนใจมากเลยครับผม
เพราะว่าบ้านเราเนี่ยถ้าพูดเรื่องของการศึกษาก็จริงๆก็มีความพยายามกันมาตลอดนะคะที่จะพัฒนาทำให้เด็กๆในบ้านเราเนี่ยรู้จักการศึกษาอย่างแท้จริงรู้จักการพัฒนาตัวเองอย่างแท้จริง
ความจริงการศึกษาเหมือนที่เนลสัน มันเดลาบอกว่าเป็นอาวุธที่ทรงพลังที่จะใช้ในการพัฒนาประเทศแต่ผมยังคิดว่าบางทีคำว่าศึกษาจริงๆบางทีเรายังไม่เข้าใจเลยว่าการศึกษาเชิงพุทธมันเป็นยังไงแล้วมีการศึกษาเชิงอย่างอื่นอีกไหม
คือการศึกษาที่แท้จริงของพุทธศาสนาเนี่ยมาจากคำว่าสิกขา
ใช่ครับ
สิกขาก็คือมาจากอันนี้ผมเป็น นักเรียนบาลีเก่านะฮะต้องถอดรหัส
ต้องถอดรหัสใช่ไหม
ถอดออกมาว่ามาจากสัตว์
สยัง
อีกขะ
สยังอิคติติสิกขาสำเร็จรูป
มาเป็นก็คือการศึกษาดูที่ตัวเองเป็นหลักแต่ว่าการศึกษาทางโลกส่วนใหญ่เราก็จะไปมองสิ่งอื่นมองต้นไม้มองอะไร
เรียนออกไปไกลตัว
ออกไปไกล
แต่พระเจ้าต้องสอนให้เรียนจากในตัวเองขุดค้นศักยภาพของตัวเองออกมาคิดวิเคราะห์เชื่อมโยงบูรณาการให้ได้นี่คือการศึกษาเชิง
อะไรในโลกนี้ไม่มีอะไรมันที่มันอิสระจากตัวเราและเราก็ไม่ได้อิสระจากสิ่งแวดล้อมทุกอย่างมาเป็นภาษาพระที่เรียกว่าอิทัปปัจจยตามันอิงอาศัยซึ่ง
แต่ท่านอาจารย์พระพุทธเจ้าท่านตอนนี้ท่านเป็นศิทธัตถะท่านก็เรียนถึง18ศาสตร์ท่านบอกมันไม่ใช่ทางแห่งการบรรลุเลยก็กลับมานั่งศึกษาด้านในนะครับ
อะไรที่ว่าใหม่ปัจจุบันนี้ไม่ใช่ใหม่สำหรับพระพุทธเจ้าพระพุทธเจ้าตรัสไว้ 2,600 ปีบุพเพสันนิวาสอ๋อเจ้าเกิดขึ้น 2,600 กว่าปีแล้วแต่ช่อง3เพิ่งมาทำ
ในทางพระพุทธศาสนาเวลาเราพูดถึงความรักมันจะมีเหตุอยู่2อย่าง1บุพเพสันนิวาสที่เรากำลังคิด2ปัจจุบันนหิเตนวามันมี2เหตุการณ์เท่านั้นเองที่ทำให้คนเกิดความรักได้ทั้งนั้นแล้วจะเป็นเหตุการณ์ใดเหตุการณ์หนึ่งเท่านั้นเองบุพเพสันนิวาสก็คือการได้อยู่ร่วมกันในอดีตชาติได้ทำบุญร่วมชาติตักบาตรร่วมขันได้ใช้ชีวิตร่วมกันผูกพันกันมาประการที่2คือปัจจุบันนหิเตนวาการช่วยเหลือเกื้อกูลกันในปัจจุบันทำให้พัฒนาเป็นความรักได้น้องแนนเกิดประเภทไหนแบบเพหรือว่าปัจจุบันนหิเตนวานี่พระพุทธเจ้าพูดมาเรื่องนี้ผมแค่ยกตัวอย่างให้เห็นว่าเนี่ยพระเจ้าพูดเรื่องนี้ถือว่าทันสมัยมาก
เหมือนวัยรุ่นชอบบอกครับว่าอย่ามโนไปอย่ามโนไปมโนนี่พระพุทธเจ้าก็ตรัสเป็นคนแรก
ครับผม
เมื่อ 2,600 กว่าปีแล้วว่าทุกอย่างเนี่ยมโนแปลว่าใจ
ครับ
ถ้าใจคิดอะไรมันก็จะทำไปที่ใจสั่ง
ใช่
เพราะฉะนั้นใจเป็นใหญ่ใจ
ก็จะมีพุทธพจน์มารองรับว่าจิตเตนิยติโลโกโลกอันจิตย่อมนำไปเราเป็นยังไงขึ้นอยู่กับใจที่เราคิดนั่นแหละครับ
ใช่ค่ะเนี่ยค่ะถึงบอกแล้วคุณผู้ชมว่าทุกๆปีเนี่ยถ้าเราได้ติดตามการถ่ายทอดสดกิจกรรมวันวิสาขบูชาที่เราจัดขึ้นเนี่ยเราก็จะได้เกร็ดเล็กเกร็ดน้อยจากแขกรับเชิญพิเศษที่จะมาช่วยทำให้เราได้นอกจากเข้าใจเนื้อหาสาระของการประชุมที่มีผู้แทนหรือว่านักวิชาการจากประเทศต่างๆมาให้แล้วก็จะมาแลกเปลี่ยนความรู้กันแบบนี้อย่างวันนี้อย่างที่อาจารย์บอกการศึกษาคือเริ่มง่ายๆคือการศึกษาจากตัวเรา
ถูกต้องครับผม
หาจุดเด่นพัฒนาศักยภาพของตัวเราให้ดีก่อนใช่ไหมคะ
คือพระพุทธเจ้าเนี่ยท่านไปจับสุดยอดของความสุขเลย
ครับ
น้องแนนเนี่ยก็ต้องเป็นแฟนของมาร์ค ซักเคอร์เบิร์กอยู่แล้วไม่มีใครในโลกนี้ไม่รู้จักมาร์ค ซักเคอร์เบิร์ก
บิลเกต
มาร์ค ซักเคอร์เบิร์กมีบริจาคมีเงินมากมายนะ2 ล้านบาทเป็นเจ้าของ Facebook เนี่ยนะฮะแต่สุดท้ายมาร์ค ซักเคอร์เบิร์กก็บริจาค 99% ให้กับองค์กรสาธารณกุศลที่ชื่อว่าCZI ก็คือชื่อของภรรยากับของตัวเองนะมาตั้งเป็นมูลนิธิบริจาคไปเป็นเงิน 200,000 ล้านบาทแต่สุดท้ายจริงคนคือ
แต่จริงๆสิ่งเหล่านี้ผมว่าน่าคิดผมกำลังมองว่าอะไรที่เป็นเบื้องหลังที่ทำให้เขาทำอย่างนี้ผมนึกถึงคำหนึ่งเวลาสตีฟ จ็อบส์เนี่ยท่านบอกว่าคือคนเราเวลาเรานึกถึงความตายเนี่ยมันทำให้เรามองบางสิ่งบางอย่างสวยงามและก็สละเพราะสุดท้ายเราไม่เอาอะไรไปเลยครับ
พุทธศาสนาสอนเรื่องแบ่งกันดีกว่าแย่งกันแบ่งปันดีกว่าแย่งกัน
มีหลายๆเหตุการณ์ที่เกิดขึ้นตั้งแต่สมัยอดีตการด้วยใช่ไหมคะ
ครับ
อยากให้เล่าให้ฟังนิดนึงค่ะ
คือหลักของพุทธศาสนาเนี่ยท่านเน้นไปที่ความสุขจริงๆเนี่ยความสุขของเรามันอยู่ที่การให้ถ้าเราเป็นเด็กความสุขของเราคือการได้อย่ามีใครแจกอะไรเรามีความสุข
ใช่ไหมจ๊ะ
แต่ว่าพอไปถึงขั้นสูงสุดจริงๆแล้วความสุข
คือการเสียสละ
การให้
จริงๆในทางพระพุทธศาสนาเวลาเราพูดถึงความสุขเลย happiness ท่านจะมี2อย่างก็คือกายิกสุขทางกายเรียก physical happiness กับเจตสิกสุขก็คือสุขทางใจพระเจ้าท่านแบ่งไว้เลยนะครับเนี่ยไอ้สุข2อย่างเนี้ยสุขไหนที่สำคัญที่สุดให้ก็ให้เห็นว่าสุขทางกายก็มีสุขทางใจก็มีแต่ในทางพุทธศาสนาเราเน้นเรื่องความสุขทางใจเมื่อเวลาเราพูดถึงความสุขเนี่ยผมเคยบอกว่าเนี่ยสุขมันมีอยู่ประมาณ3แบบสุขสนุกสุขสงบสุขสว่าง
สุขสนุก สุขสงบและสุขสว่าง
สุขสนุกก็คืออย่างที่เราเข้าไปกินไปเที่ยวไปอะไรสนุกและกลับมาก็ทุกข์เหมือนเดิม
ใช่
สุขสงบอย่างเช่นการศึกษาการปฏิบัติธรรมการทำใจให้สุขศึกษาเราเรียนเป็นสุขสงบสุขสว่างมาถึงการพัฒนาเรื่องปัญญา
อันนี้คือสุดแล้ว
ใช่ครับผมเพราะว่าในทางพุทธศาสนาเราเน้นเรื่องปัญญาเป็นหลักเป็นสันนิแห่งปัญญาครับผม
คือพระพุทธเจ้าเนี่ยท่านพูดถึงเรื่องการพัฒนามนุษย์ใช่ไหมท่านไม่ได้ให้ท่านให้ความสำคัญทุกอย่างทุกมิติ
ครับผม
แต่ว่าเน้นไปที่การพัฒนาจิตใจ
ใช่
พัฒนาสิ่งแวดล้อมพัฒนาสุขภาพสุขภาพนี่มาจากคำว่าสุขภาวะนะ
สุขภาวะ
พัฒนาสุขภาพพัฒนาร่างกายพัฒนาจิตใจพัฒนาสิ่งแวดล้อมเนี่ยพระพุทธเจ้าเน้นหมดทุกเรื่อง
ใช่ครับอาจารย์เหมือนเมื่อกี้ท่านบอกว่าหนึ่งก็คือการพัฒนา4ด้านในพุทธศาสนาหนึ่งก็เรียกว่าการแรกคือกายภาวนาพัฒนาทางกายภาพแล้วก็ physical development หรืออะไรที่เขาเรียกกัน2ก็คือศีลภาวนาก็คือพัฒนาเชิงสังคมมันต้องดีด้วยสูงขึ้นมานิดหนึ่งสูงขึ้นมาหน่อยก็จะเป็นจิตตภาวนาพัฒนาทางจิตและสูงสุดคือปัญญาภาวนา
ที่ผมพูดเรื่องนี้เพราะว่ายกตัวอย่างเช่นพระพุทธเจ้าท่านบอกว่าเย็นไม่กินข้าวเช้าออกกำลังกายพระเนี่ยเย็นไม่กินข้าวเช้าออกกำลังกายเย็นไม่ฉันพระทหารเช้าออกกำลังกายเดินบิณฑบาตนี่คือการพัฒนาสุขภาพใช่ไหมพระถึงมีอายุยืนยาวนานแล้วไม่เคยเป็นโรคใช่ไหมฮะพระที่บิณฑบาตเป็นประจำเนี่ย80 กว่ายังเดินคล่องอยู่เลยนะครับก็ใช้หลักของพระพุทธเจ้านอกจากไปออกกำลังกายแล้วได้มีการสนทนาภาษาทหารเขาเรียกหาข่าวกับโยม
สนทนา
โยมลูกสาวแต่งงานหรือยังรู้โยมลูกทำงานที่ไหนเป็นการสนทนาแล้วก็ให้กำลังใจกับโยมไปด้วย
สมัยก่อนมันเป็นการสนทนาแบบ2 ทาง interactive มันเป็น two ways ก็คือการไปบิณฑบาตนอกจากนั้นแล้วก็อย่างที่ท่านอาจารย์ว่าได้มีการสนทนาได้พบปะพูดคุยสุนทรียสนทนาทางธรรมด้วย
ปจว.
ใช่ครับใช่ครับผมเพราะว่าในทางพระพุทธศาสนาการให้ทานธรรมถือเป็นการให้ที่สูงสุดสัพพทานังธรรมทานังชินาติ
เป็นการปฏิบัติการจิตวิทยาด้วยการบิณฑบาตนี่เป็นการปฏิบัติการจิตวิทยานะครับได้คุยกับโยมได้ให้ธรรมะต่อโยมโดยโยมไม่รู้ตัวเขาเรียกว่าไปหาถึงบ้านเลยนอกจากโยมมาหาที่วัดแล้วพระต้องไปหาด้วยนี่คือการพัฒนาร่างกายที่พระพุทธเจ้าสอน
ใช่ครับ
การพัฒนาสิ่งแวดล้อมมีหลายกรณีมากมายที่พระพุทธเจ้าท่านอนุรักษ์สิ่งแวดล้อมเช่นพระไปถมน้ำลายใส่หญ้านี่ก็ผิดพระไปตัดหญ้านี่ก็ผิดนะแต่โยมบอกว่าถ้าพระไม่ตัดหญ้านี่พระขี้เกียจแต่ถ้าพระตัดหญ้าโยมไม่เข้าใจไงบอกว่าพระนี่นอนทั้งวันไม่ตัดหญ้าเลยขี้เกียจแต่ถ้าพระตัดหญ้าพระพุทธเจ้าบอกว่าเนี่ยเป็นอาบัติปาจิตติเป็นอาบัติเลยนะ
คือแต่ก็เป็นอย่างเบาใช่ไหมท่านอาจารย์
อย่างเบา
มีอย่างเบาอย่างกลางอย่างหนัก3
พระบางรูปถึงขนาดใช้โครงการบวชต้นไม้นี่คือการรักษาสิ่งแวดล้อมที่พระพุทธเจ้าสอนไปเอาจีวรไปห่มต้นไม้ไว้ไม่ได้บวชแล้วครับแต่ว่าคนเห็นจีวร
ป้องกันไม่ให้คน
เขาเรียกว่าเป็นจิตวิทยา
ใช่ครับผมคือคนเวลาอะไรที่สีเหลืองไม่พันครับก็รู้สึกเกรงนะครับ
อันนี้เป็นเรื่องของสิ่งแวดล้อมแต่พอฟังทั้ง2 ท่านเล่ามาทั้งหมดเนี่ยมันก็จะเข้ามาสู่เรื่องของการศึกษาเรื่องของการเรียนหมดเลยนะคะหลักธรรมคำสอนที่พระพุทธเจ้าให้มาแล้วก็มองไปถึงอนาคต
แต่จริงๆแล้วท่านเริ่มจากเบื้องต้นก่อนอย่างเวลาเราเรียนเข้าวัดเนี่ยเราได้ยินคำว่าอารามนะท่านอาจารย์
อ
ารามหรือจริงรู้ไหมอารามมันแปลว่าอะไร
ท่านที่ทำให้เกิดความยิน
ดีน่ารื่นรม
เข้าไปแล้วมีความสุขครับเราเข้าไปโรงแรมเราก็มีความสุขอีกระดับหนึ่งแต่เราไม่มีความรู้สึกว่าอันนี้โรงแรมนี้เป็นเจ้าของโรงแรมมีคนเป็นเจ้าของอยู่แต่เราเข้าไปวัดเนี่ยเราไม่ได้มีความรู้สึกว่าเจ้าว่าเป็นเจ้าของวัดเรารู้สึกว่าวัดเป็นของเรา
ใช่
ใจมันต่างกันนะ
รื่นรมยินดีอารามมันแปลว่ารื่นรมยินดี
แล้วจิตใจจะต่างความรู้สึกของเราเวลาเข้าไปอย่างไปที่เที่ยวกับเข้าไปที่วัดมันก็ต่างกันนะคะความสุขที่มันสงบกับความสุขแบบ
ถ้าน้องแนนเคยไปวัดสวนโมกนี่ไปปั๊บไม่ต้องสอนธรรมะเลยได้ทำเลยเดินเข้าไปหน่อยก็จะเห็นก้อนหินพูดได้ต้นไม้พูดได้เมื่อสงกรานต์อาจารย์ไปเจอก้อนหินพูดได้แล้วสะอึกเลยรู้ไปหมดทุกเรื่องยกเว้นเรื่องของกูโอ้โหคำนี้หลวงพ่อพุทธทาสพูด ทำให้เราสะท้อนใจนะจ๊ะโอ้โหเนี่ยครับ
แล้วก็ใช่แนนเคยไปค่ะอาจารย์พอตอนที่ไปเนี่ยเราจอดรถข้างหน้าก็รถอยู่ริมถนนใช่ไหมก็เสียงปึ๊กก็จะหาซื้อของฝากแล้วก็จะได้ยินเสียงนู่นเสียงนั่นแต่พอก้าวผ่านประตูเหล็กเข้าไปอ่ะกลายเหมือนเป็นอีกโลกหนึ่งไปเลย
ที่นั่นเนี่ยเขา
สงบ
เสียงที่ดนตรีที่หลวงพ่อพุทธทาสก็คือเสียงนกเสียงธรรมชาติคุณเห็นเถาวัลย์คุณเห็นก้อนหินคุณเห็นทรายคุณเห็นที่นั่งของหลวงพ่อพุทธทาสที่เรียบง่ายเพราะความเรียบง่ายคือความสุขผมนึกถึงคำของอัลเบิร์ตไอน์สไตน์ท่านบอกว่าถ้าเราไม่สามารถทำชีวิตได้ง่ายได้แสดงว่าเราไม่เข้าใจชีวิตเพราะชีวิตที่แท้จริงต้องทำให้มันง่ายเหมือนที่พระเจ้าท่านทำเพราะไอน์สไตน์ท่านนับถือพุทธนะ
หลวงพ่อพุทธทาสนี่ก็เป็นต้นแบบของเรื่องของการศึกษา
ครับ
ท่านเรียนในระบบจริงๆเนี่ยได้แค่ประโยค3ได้แค่ประโยค3พูดจริงๆเลยนะแต่ว่าท่านเรียนที่เรียกว่าสิกขาคือสาอิขาเนี่ยบองมาที่ตัวเองจนกระทั่งกลายเป็นนักปราชญ์ของโลก
ใช่
ท่านพูดวาทะของท่านในปัจจุบันนี้ยังเป็นอมตะก็คือเป็น
คำคมอาจารย์เยอะเลยครับ
ท่านบอกว่าถ้าทำวันนี้ถูกต้องก็ไม่ต้องกลัววันพรุ่งนี้
มีหลายคำคมที่ผมไปเจอเช่นแล้วมันที่สะท้อนใจนะท่านบอกว่าคนดีสำคัญกว่าทุกสิ่งทำให้เราคิดว่าทุกวันนี้ที่บ้านเมืองเรามีปัญหานี่หรือคนดีหรือคนเก่งทำให้เราคิดย้อนกลับไปมีหลายคำที่สะท้อนใจเราเช่นท่านบอกว่าศีลธรรมไม่กลับมาโลกาจะวินาศศีลธรรมระบาดโลกธาตุจะร่มเย็นศีลธรรมคือสมบัติของยุวชนอย่างนี้ครับเมื่อกี้ท่านพูดอย่างนี้ทำให้เราคิดมันเป็นคำคมทางจิตวิญญาณที่มันตกผลึกทางปัญญาแล้วเป็นของนักปราชญ์ที่เกิดขึ้นเห็นภาพเลย
คือแบบสั้นๆแต่เห็นภาพชัดเจนเลยเราคนเก่งหรือคนดี
ใช่ถ้าเราเข้าไปนั้นปั๊บนี่เหมือนท่านยังมีชีวิตอยู่เห็นต้นไม้พูดได้เห็นก้อนหินพูดได้ทำให้เรานึกคิดถึงคำสอนของท่านครับ
มีหลายคำสอนเนี่ยบอกว่าอะไรนะคะอาจจะจำประโยคได้ไม่เต็มคืออย่าไปหาความผิด
อะไรนะที่บอกว่า
เขามีส่วนเล
วบ้างช่างหัวเขาจงเลือกเอาส่วนที่ดีเขามีอยู่เป็นประโยชน์แก่โลกบ้างยังน่าดูส่วนที่ชั่วอย่าไปรู้ของเขาเลยและท่านต่ออีกจะหาคนมีดีโดยส่วนเดียวอย่ามัวเที่ยวค้นหาสหายเอ๋ยเหมือนเที่ยวหาหนวดเต่าตายเปล่าเลยฝึกให้เคยมองแต่ดีมีคุณจริง
นี่
วงดินป่าจีวันเอามาทำเป็นเพลง
นี่คือถ้าใช่ค่ะมันเห็นภาพชัดเจนหมดเลยนะคะ
ก็ปัจจุบันนี้เราก็ไปอยู่ในห้องเรียนก่อนจนลืมห้องเรียนธรรมชาติห้องเรียนธรรมชาติเนี่ยยิ่งใหญ่มากหลวงพ่อพุทธทาสเนี่ยอยู่ในห้องเรียนธรรมชาติพระพุทธเจ้าก็อยู่ในห้องเรียน
ถูกต้อง
ของธรรมชาติมาโดยตลอดพระพุทธเจ้าเนี่ยเกินกว่าพระมหากษัตริย์คือเป็นพระมหากษัตริย์แล้วมาเป็นพระพุทธเจ้าทีหลังเพราะฉะนั้นพระพุทธเจ้าเนี่ยพัฒนาตนเองไปจนกระทั่งถึงว่านั่งอยู่เฉยๆคนก็เข้ามาไหว้
ถูกต้อง
อย่างเราเป็นพ่อเป็นแม่คนเนี่ยต้องเรียกลูกมาไหว้
ภะคะวะอะระหังสั next, may I invite the representative of the Buddhist monks from both Mahayana and Vajrayana school up on the stage to chant together, please.
Namo Bồ Huệ Sang Hô Bồ Sát Namo Bồ Huệ Sang Hô Bồ Sát Namo Bồ Sang Hô Bồ Sát Bồ Rơ Bồ Đô Mi Đô Xin Ji Quan自在菩萨心生般若波罗蜜多时，照见五阴皆空，度一切苦厄，舍利子，舍不异空，空不异舍，舍即是空，空即是舍，所相行识亦不如是。舍利子，是诸法空相，不生不灭，不垢不净，是无生不净。是故空中无色，无所相行识，无眼耳鼻舌身意，无色声香味触法，无眼界乃至无意识界，无明亦无明尽，无妄自无老死亦无老死尽，无苦集灭道无 โสตโกโพธิสัตโตอิปโรปโลมิโตกุชิงอุกวายอุกวายกุอุโยคง不愿离颠倒梦想修行涅槃三世诸佛一般若波罗蜜多故那罗多罗三藐三菩提故知般若波罗蜜多四大神咒四大明咒四无上咒四无等等咒能除一切苦人事不虚故说般若波罗蜜多咒即所作业揭谛揭谛波罗揭揭谛波罗僧揭谛菩提萨婆愿下三藏诸烦恼愿得智慧真明了不愿罪障息消除世事常行菩萨道。
Good morning. My name is Dr. Sanu Matanadun, Associate Professor to Buddhist Studies and Lecturer of International Buddhist Studies College of MCU.
สวัสดีค่ะดิฉันบุญนดาสุปิยพันธ์นิสิตปริญญาเอกสาขาวิชาสันติศึกษามหาวิทยาลัยมหาจุฬาลงกรณราชวิทยาลัยวันนี้รับหน้าที่เป็นผู้ดำเนินรายการค่ะกราบนมัสการพระเดชพระคุณศาสตราจารย์ดร.พระพรหมบัณฑิตอธิการบดีมหาวิทยาลัยมหาจุฬาลงกรณราชวิทยาลัยประธานสภาสากลวันวิสาขบูชาโลกและประธานกรรมการดำเนินการจัดประชุมชาวพุทธนานาชาติพระเถรานุเถระที่เคารพอย่างสูงและกราบเรียนผู้มีเกียรติทุกท่านค่ะขอต้อนรับทุกท่านเข้าสู่งานการประชุมวันวิสาขบูชาโลกครั้งที่15ซึ่งวันนี้นะคะนับเป็นวันที่2ของการจัดงานค่ะ อย่างที่บอกไว้นะคะตั้งแต่เมื่อวานว่าการจัดงานการประชุมวันวิสาขบูชาโลกครั้งที่ 15 นี้เราต้องการยกระดับรูปแบบของการประชุมให้ได้มาตรฐานและอยู่ในระดับสากลมากยิ่งขึ้นการนำเสนอในวันนี้นะคะจึงแตกต่างออกไปค่ะเพื่อให้สามารถรองรับการประชุมในรูปแบบต่างๆให้มีความหลากหลายมากยิ่งขึ้นนั่นเองค่ะ
So good morning to the most venerable Professor Dr. Pramma Pandit, Rector of Mahajula Longkorn Rajawithyalaya University and the President of the International Association of Buddhist Studies IABU and the President of the International Council for Day of Vesak and all of the most venerables, delegates and all of the distinguished guests. Welcome everyone again on the second days of the 15th United Nations Day of Vesak celebration of 2018. Today is held as here the 48th birthday of the Crown Prince Mahavajiralongkorn Auditorium Hall. And in this year, we have uplifted the style of the conference to be international level. The conference presentation will be different in order for the standard of the international requirement to be held in the international conference.
ค่ะและหัวข้อของการอภิปรายร่วมในครั้งนี้นะคะก็จัดขึ้นในหัวข้อการอภิปรายร่วมถึง3หัวข้อด้วยกันค่ะนั่นก็คือ 1. การศึกษาเชิงพุทธกับการเสริมสร้างพลังของเยาวชน 2. พระพุทธศาสนากับการสร้างสวัสดิการสังคมและ 3. การอนุรักษ์อัตลักษณ์ทางวัฒนธรรมในโลกที่เชื่อมโยงกันค่ะ
The topics for today's discussion will cover 3 of the following streams. First, empowering youth through Buddhist education. Second, engage Buddhism for social welfare. And third, preservation cultural identity in interconnected world.
ค่ะโดยการประชุมในช่วงแรกนะคะก็จะเป็นการประชุมในหัวข้อเรื่องการศึกษาเชิงพุทธกับการเสริมสร้างพลังของเยาวชนในลำดับแรกนะคะดิฉันขอกราบอาราธนาพระคุณเจ้าชาวชูค่ะ
And now we are ready to the next program, which is the first panel discussion of today under the theme Empowering Youth Through Buddhist Education. May I respectfully invite the most venerable Bhante Chao Chu as our moderator, and we will give this honorable stage to Venerable Chao Chu. Thank you very much.
Venerable Mahasangha, honorable guests, dear friends in the Dharma. Good morning. And well, even we are a little behind of our schedule, I hope to finish this session on time or before that we are required to finish it. So this is our second day of the celebration of United Nations Day of Vesak 2018. And first of all, I would like to thank for the organizing committee for selecting me to serve in this panel. And then I take this opportunity also to work together with our panel speakers. Yesterday, we have listened to the panel on human development. And so today I would like to invite to the panel speakers that we are going to have here called Empowering Youth for Buddhist Education. So without further delay, I want to start this panel. So then I would like to invite our guest speaker, Venerable Sek Kwam Ping, to come to the stage. Please. the stage and give him a big applause. And our panel speakers, Dr. Arvind Singh, and Venerable Kupyawate Bodhananda, and also we have Venerable Professor Dr. Hansa Dhammahaso, and Mr. Chilong Wang, and Kevin Chin Kai Ying. Well, to save our time again, I briefly want to introduce our guest speaker first, and then Most Venerable Dr. Sekwam Ping is the council member of the Presidential Council of the Religious Harmony of Singapore, and also the president of Singapore Buddhist Federation. Please give him a big applause, big hand, and also our next speaker is Venerable Hansa Dhammahaso. Yes, please. Please come this way. Venerable Dhammahaso, well, I don't need to introduce you, but you all know him, and well, and he's the person who is putting all these things together, all this event together from the day one that we have been discussing for the last few months. And then we really appreciate that he is helping us to get this thing done and doing a good job. So he's the assistant professor and the head of the School of the Buddhist Studies and Civilization, and also the director of the International Affairs, Gautam Buddha University. No, I got it wrong. Venerable Hansa is the director of the International Buddhist Studies College of the Mahachulalongkorn Rajavidyalaya University. And Arvind Singh is the assistant professor of the head School of Buddhist Studies and Civilization, and also the director, International Affairs, Gautam Buddha University, and Greater Noida, Uttar Pradesh. And next to him is Venerable Kupyawate Bodhananda, is the director of Mituro Movement NGO program in Sri Lanka, the board member of Therapeutic Community Federation of Asia, and the National Dangerous Drugs Control Board. And we have two more speakers. Mr. Chilong Wang is Hampshire College from USA and studied, and also the inaugural fellow of the Spiritual Ecology Fellowship. And the Kevin Chin Kai Ying is the president of University of Manchester Accounting Society, treasurer for Malaysian Accounting Society for UK and Ireland, and event director of Bright Future Society. So these are the brief introduction, and also their papers are in the book. So I think we are not going to read the papers here today. So you can, when you go back home, you have plenty of time to read. And let me see. Well, this is a very important panel that we are going to talk about empowering youth through Buddhist education. Why we have to talk about this, especially on this topic? To me, it is very important because youth are the future. They are the future. So we have to prepare them if we want to preserve the teaching of the Buddha and also preserve our Buddhist culture. So now we all know that the gap between youth and the elders, the parents or the family members or the relationships are getting kind of deteriorating. There's a gap between the youth and the elders. And also the violence is rising in the youth community, that we all know that. So how do we face Buddhists and also what we are going to do and how we prepare for the future for these challenges is the question. So, and also how we can work on this as Buddhist leaders here, to say they would like to hear from all of you that please, we would like to invite our guest speaker to start our panel discussion.
Good morning. Most valuable, respected, our rectors ofฬาลงกรณ University, most valuable professor, Brahma Pudi, brothers and sisters in the Dharma. So, I'm the most youngest among all the panelists. So I'm the most qualified to talk about this. So, youth, you is young, useful, fresh, energetic, vigorous. That's why we can see. But sometimes we don't know how the strength comes from. But when you're getting old, we know. We are admire them. These are the groups that are in Singapore. So this is our groups in Singapore Buddhist Federations. But who are the young? It's basically, it's very simple. We can categorize them by age. But there's variations. According to the United Nations, it's about 15 to 25. Thailand, 18 to 25. The Singapore have extended to 35 years old. So we term it as young Singaporeans, and more in the broader sense. So young is how we know he's young. How young know they are different from their childhood. So they can notice that there's a bodily changes in them. They go taller, their voice changes, physically, they take notice of them. Psychologically, they like to be part of the adulthood. So they're searching for their own identity. That's why sometimes in the dynamics, you see, because the child do not like to play, do not like to play with them anymore, but the adult will still treat them as a child. You see, this is a way they would like to search an identity. They want to be treated as an adult. They want adult to give them a space, a platform to demonstrate them. This is one of the youth that participated in the Thai youth program, ASEAN youth program, organized by Dr. Hansa a few years back. Now he's an army officer. So we give them the space. They like her room. They like the space for themselves. So we have to respect that. Now, what is the trace of the youth today? We can hear a lot of adults criticizing them that they are start changing, they like to tattoos, they have the enjoyment, but compared to the youth in the past, we have our own. At our time, a lot of people go for hippies. Different things. But we should recognize the youth have some advantages. They have demonstrated a lot of talents in them. They are highly educated, well-versed in computer science and IT knowledge, and more focused, violent. Like our time, we are told not to talk so much, don't ask questions. As Chinese say, 有耳无嘴. You have ears, no mouth. You only listen to receive instructions from the elders and not to argue. But time is changed. We have to recognize it. So the youth, you see, they are more immersed in the Facebook, the website, anything. So we should recognize they have their own world, the world that is different from us. So we should not take a negative attitude towards them, but rather from a more positive way. We should play a role as supporter, enablers, and our consultants. We have to work together with them as a friend. So we must get them inspired and help them to have aspiration in their life. A good example that the Buddha has demonstrated how he got inspired by the real world. When Buddha was young, he saw the cruelty in the human and animal realms, the suffering that the humans had. So that critical thinking in him inspired him how to end all these sufferings. So he had a vision, have a goal, have aspiration to become a Buddha in search of truth. So he went under the Bodhi trees and obtains to himself enlightenment. And this has inspired some, but those figures of female person we have know them very well. A good example was Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs is one who invented the iPhone. He got the inspiration from Buddha. He's saying how he can put everything in one device and on the same screen. You want to put computers, cameras, MP3s, everything. So you no need to own so much of things so troublesome. That's why the first normal truth is ancestry. So how we can help the world to be better, not in material worlds, but also in our mental world. So, Steve, I say, the ones who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones who do. So the young have the dream, have vision in them. So how we help them to achieve? So we give them space. I let them to do their own program, plan their own program. The youth are here. So some, they are quite intervals, but at the end of the day, after some training, after they have hand-on, activities, they become the leaders of the group. So, Professor Hansa had an idea. So he get a youth to get in touch to the rural area. So this is a way, make them think how they can help the world to be more better for us to live in. So by getting them to set the aspiration, a destination for them, we have to make them think we are living side by side, interdependence with others. We cannot live alone. A lot of think, we are enjoying the food of others. The life we are enjoying now is the food of others. Where does the rice come from? Where does the water come from? Make them think it. We cannot separate from the mess. So we should respect the elders. We should pay back gratitude to them. So get them, translate this idea, this thought into real actions. And these are the activities. They organize themselves. I do not lay my hand in it. I just give a support. They want some fun, I try to raise fund for them. That's all. So they say, the slogan in Singapore, they say, Guasi Singaporean, I'm a Singaporean. Now we say, we are the Buddhists among the big Buddhist community, and we are a human being among the human world. We are a beings in the whole realm of sentient beings. So by that, the you will radiate loving kindness toward all, because we told them we share the same Buddha nature as Buddhas. Anyone can as well to become Buddha, Arahant. You see, you can get enlightenment. So no one is superior, no one is inferior. We are equal. We are equally important. We are equal in our role. We are brothers and sisters. So we should practice non-self. How to do that? When every time there's a thought in us, in our speech, in our action, before we act, before we say something, before we give rise to thought, we must examine whether our thought, our actions, our speech is harmful to others, is beneficial to others, the self. So this is the way they will observe the 5 precepts automatically and simultaneously. So this is talk without bad intention, give without any reason, and most of all is care for people. So you see, we have young from different races, different religions participated in our camp, in our program. So we get a young to clean up the home for the elderly or those who stay alone in the HDB flat. They do themselves. They organize themselves, Mondays or by Monday. And at one time, I think a few years back, they had organized meta conventions and was attended by the Ministers for Home Affairs, Mr. Samugan. So these are the young. How we be mindful, how we can get our thoughts whenever and wherever it arises in us. That is a mindfulness. So the mindfulness is so unique. That is passed on from Buddhas, was taught by the Buddhas. And in Singapore, the mindfulness is useful not for the young only, but for the old. There's an experiment, there's a study, a survey, that mindfulness can prevent dementias, and it's the best way. The survey was conducted by the Public Health of Singapore, and the study showed that mindfulness is so powerful to prevent the dementia. So this is a great contribution by the Buddhists to the whole world when you talk about how Buddhists have influenced the world now. Mindfulness will help us to develop concentration. Every thought comes, they will focus on it. So they were aware whether there's greediness in them, in it, whether there is anger or hatred or ignorance in it. If it does, they will not be influenced, they will not be carried away by this. So they can purify their mind, their thoughts in such a way that they can mind to be concentrated and aware every thought is. If we are unaware of one simple thought, we may be end up in somewhere else. That is cause and effect. So how we should, so we should practice mindfulness, especially the young. So to gain control over our mind, and finally, the youth of every one of us, we find peace in us, then we can find peace in our environment, our surrounding, the whole world. So the peace starts from every one of us. The peace does not come or not fall from the sky or arise from the earth. It's every one of us. It's a duty of us to be mindful, to sort of practice it. These are the young. So my conclusion, you is the future leaders for Buddhists, for society, for the whole world. By mutual understanding about the youth and ourselves, so the youth and the elder can work together. So we have mutual guidance, mutual respect, and we are able to help the youth manage themselves as they go into manage the country, the society, the world in futures, that we rely on them because I want to have a better future life. If we are not getting our youth in a right way, to live in the right way, to think in the right way, have a right view, I think we are going to suffer. So, finally, the youth can help to disseminate the message of peace to the whole world. So let us work together and do not neglect the need of the youth. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Kwam Ping, for his wonderful ideas about the young generation that how do we take care. We have to listen to them. We have to listen to them, not to force them, not to control them. That's what he's saying. We have to listen to them. We have to recognize their needs. We have to recognize their need. See, this, as adults, we have to learn a lot of things from them. And also we have to learn how to work together. That's what you said. We have to learn how to work together and rather than trying to control them. And also try to use the Buddhist teaching to guide our children. That's what I think our Venerable Sekwamping is trying to emphasize. And also what, as he's saying, something came to my mind about when we say Steve Jobs. I see many young children are right now good at phone meditation. Phone meditation, they can sit for 5 hours with their phones. I think we can train to do phone meditation so that young people will come to more meditation classes. With this, I would like to invite our next speaker, Most Venerable Dr. Hansa Dhammahaso, to come and give us his insight to improve our understanding of these young people and how to train them, how to educate them with our Buddhist teaching. Please.
Mindfulness helps you keep calm and relaxed when you're in times when you're angry or frustrated.
You learn from mindfulness so you can help yourself calm down.
The red zone is when you're like tense.
My heart starts to beat fast and then I scrunch up my fist and also my face.
Your blood might be swishing around like a big wave coming over the ocean.
You can walk away, tell the teacher, or pause, breathe and smile.
PBS.
PBS. PBS stands for pause, breathe and smile. Everything's moving the way it's supposed to be. Your heart's at a good rate. When you smile and just be happy,
it's where you're happy, you're never nervous, and you'll make friends.
You kind of just like smell and like feel what it's like, and then you just like look at it and then you eat it.
Mandarin juice.
Mindfulness makes me a better friend and sister. Before I didn't notice if people were feeling sad or lonely, but after I learned mindfulness, I noticed and I wanted to help.
Sometimes my brain is like a snow globe when you shake it up. It's stormy and wild, and I can't see things properly. Mindfulness helps me to calm down so I can see all the different snowflakes and understand what's happening in my mind.
Sometimes I lie in bed and I can't get to sleep because I'm worried about not getting high scores on my test. Pause, breathe and smile make me feel a lot calmer, and it will just help me fall asleep.
There's lots of little neurons in your brain, and your heart is actually connected to your brain. When you feel happy, you have a happy heart. Mindfulness gives you that happy heart.
Most respected to most venerable Professor Dr. Prapama Pandit, Professor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My topic today is mindfulness for youth, a case study of peaceful knowledge in Thailand. Of course, there are too many projects that you all have done around the world. But here in Thailand, we have the small project but small is meaningful. I will give our experiences and lesson learned to you all about that. You are what you believe. We all believe something. What I believe, I do believe that there is no greater happiness than peace. That is Buddha teaching. Try to let us follow. I do believe that mindfulness of youth is starting point of world peace. Of course, world peace comes from mindfulness of youth. It's the reason why Most Venerable Che Quang Ping would like to explain more about that. We have to motivate our youth to build peace in their mind. This project comes from our university. Most Venerable Professor Dr. Prapama Bandit try to let us, administrator, lecturer, and student, go to countryside to motivate students and kids in there. Under this one, here in our university, we have one program. This program will be MA and PhD in peace study. When we learn peace study, not just study in our room, in our classroom. If we try to do like that, peace never come true. We have to bring Buddha teaching to choose to teach our young generation around Thailand. Peace is not just the thing you are saying, but the thing you are building. You try to explain many times, peace is very important for people around the world. But you never built inner peace and outer. Why peace is come true? That's the reason why we have to build peace inside your mind and outer as well. Our rector, Most Venerable Professor Dr. Prapama Bandit, he gave the name. I will call you all as peace engineer. There are too many engineers that build building, airport, the road, but no more engineer that build inner peace in the mind and peace in society. And we teach our students, MA and PhD students in our university, then let them go to countryside to motivate kids and students in there. This project we call Novices Mindful Project, supported by King Sirinthorn. He tried to support us about it. And supported by Anti-Corruption Foundation, Office of Anti-Corruption, our university, and Peace Study Project. We start from this. We invite all students from many provinces to stay together in our temple in Sisaket province. We invite them all there and we start our ceremony. It is their life. We try to motivate them all. Why mindfulness is so important for your son? Let's come to join each other and learn from each other. And they come to learn, and we have to train them all. It's novice ordination will be here, and we train them because the novice, that's a very important one. In the summer, they have to come to temple to be a novice. Here, we motivate parents, their father and mother, to come to join with each other. This is the model. This is the model how we train our students. There are 4 pillars. Under there is no greater happiness than peace. That is foundation. Then we be 4 pillars. The way that we have to train our kids or students who are novice. The first one, physical development. The second one, behavioral development. The third one, mental development. And the last one, intellectual development. For this time, I will focus on mindfulness and mental development. What is the way? The thing I would like to share my experiences with you all. What is the way that we try to cultivate mindfulness and harvest true peace to the kid or student, especially novice? The first one, that is physical training. We use lid or flask as the tool for doing meditation. As the video have you seen, student or kid like a monkey. They are like a monkey. They are unable to keep silent. Then they move all the time. That is kid or young generation. Then I use this one, lid of flask, and put on the top of the head. Because they move all the time, move again and again, how can we let them keep silent and sit peacefully? We put here. And at first, let them close their eye. Let them open their eye. Don't close your eye. Just open your eye. You can see everything. But one thing you have to do is that please keep silent. And send your mind to this area on the top of your head. And we put some water inside there. We put some water inside there. And if you move like this, then the water will come to you. So be careful. You have to send your mind to this area only. Then, you put some water. Because you move a lot. So we put some water. Be careful. You have to be careful about that. Here. At first, when we throw some water inside here, they are so serious. Oh dear, what happened in my life? But that is the thing we try to do. Then close your eye. At first, you can't open your eye. And then close your eye. If you deep, breathe in and breathe out. We be calm, because that time you just concentrate this area. Mindfulness or concentration will occur. Next, the second will be walking meditation. That is very important. Sometimes we have to move, sometimes we have to sit. This walking meditation, we know about that. The third one, pilgrimage of truth. When they become a novice, we have to walk through many villages, about 10 villages. Some day it might be 6 kilometers. Some day will be 10 kilometers. Walk from this village to that village. Because we have to let them exercise a little bit. If you just still at the same temple, they will play, they will not concentrate anymore. We have to move day by day. Today, this village. Tomorrow, they can see the new thing every time and learn from each other. See, everywhere we go, all people come to welcome our novice and inspire our novice. Oh, you are very good one. We're proud of you. It's the people we do like that. The weather is very hot at that time, but they try best. They focus on whatever they walk on the road. Sometimes it's very hot. They have the wisdom. How can I survive? How can I survive? That is young. So many times, this year, unfortunately, there's rain in the southeast of Thailand. It's a very hard time for all of us. The fourth one, reclining meditation. Of course, we have to let them relax a little bit. After lunch, maybe sometime we have to do that to make them relax. Painting meditation. That is the thing, we have to let them have creative thinking. That is the way to have emotion, good emotion. What do you think about that when you walk through village again and again? What do you think about that? You have to paint that one, that is picture. That is the picture, the paint. The painting. The wonderful, all novices have to do that. Then sitting meditation. Sometimes when you are so tired, reclining meditation, and sometimes we should have sitting meditation. It depends on situation you have. Of course, at first they move a lot from here to there. It's like a monkey. But eventually, no need lid of flask. No need to put some water. 15 days altogether. We change the mind. This is before. Before we be like that. About after. No need lid of flask. That is their life. They're so happy. Very proud of them. When I first saw kids who come to our temple, oh, they are like a monkey. But eventually, they are so calm, they are so happy. And then, when we have closing ceremony, what happened, His mother, she get the new gift from our religion. She cried because so far, when she came to temple, what about their daughter, their son? What about their son? But eventually, you know what happened? Norway is so calm. Their son is so calm. It's the way we try to train them all. We all think that. To me, I think I'm a servant. I'm a servant. There's like a horse, Kantaka horse. I give my life to my rector to help whatever he would like me to do. And sometime, please, most venerable, let me go back to my village to dedicate my life to my family, to my villager, to my relative. That the Buddha tried to explain to us that when you know more, you learn more, please go back to your village. As the Buddha said, Jalatha Pikave Jalikang, Pujana Hitaya, Pujana Sukhaya, please go back to your village. Thank you very much.
Thank you, most venerable Hansa, for us giving this wonderful, this very inspiring training program, especially for children. I think many Buddhist leaders are here. Probably they have not seen or even not thought about a program like this, like have a cup of water on top of the children's head, pretty hard job. Even we can't handle it, but those children could have handled it very well. So I think that kind of training is very important because we all look for something every day. That's what he said, happiness, the peace. Without peace, how can we secure? How can we secure ourselves? Our relationships cannot be secured without peace of mind. So it's very difficult. I think these new methods, we can talk about that. I think we can produce these small CDs or videos or something, and we can hand over to our Buddhist leaders to take home to learn more about these different practices. Very interesting. Okay, I think now it's time for Dr. Arvind Singh to give his thoughts about the training our young children or the Buddhist education.
First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Professor Brahma Pandit ji for giving me this opportunity to present my paper over here. Thank you very much, sir. And dear friends and Dhamma brothers and sisters, I am going to present my paper on empowering youth through Buddhist education. Here already, for my first speaker, I discussed about the complications youths are facing in today's modern day life, like the contradictions and ambiguities, inbuilt anxieties with all accomplishments. They have been made the youth more arrogant and ignorant of the real issues faced by the society as a whole. So youths are not receptive to the social issues. They are just became very ignorant, and these temptations have creating anxiety among the youth and ultimately resulted into the problems like stress and all those things, depressions, disease among them. These anxieties or these complications are due to their careers, thoughts, knowledge and experience, because they don't hope for the future. They have some doubts about themselves. So they feel disengaged from the social issues. So the disengagements of youth, these disengagements are due to the crisis. Many youths are disengaged at the extreme margins of society and have lost hope in the future. This has to improve. It is the high time to improve investment in research, policies and programs to create an enabling environment for the youth to prosper their exercise rights, regain hope and sense of community, and engage as responsible social actors. The starting point is to consider youth as solution, not as a problem, and get them fully engaged in social change through empowerment. The empowerment, this is the issue which is also the important aspect of UNESCO and United Nations General Secretary 2012 agenda. That is, the objective is to advocate the importance of working with and for youth to provide them the skills and opportunity to be the agent of change and peace as sustainable development. Now, how Buddhist education can help to empower youths? The Buddhist education basically means leading life in a right manner and making right decisions about issues related to day-to-day life. The Buddhist education pragmatically and progressively taught the ground reality of human life, which is the greatest contribution of humanity to the humanity. The Buddhist religious system was cast in the mold of an education, so it became lifelong education, and education became living religion. Now, Buddhist perspective on empowerment. What is empowerment? Empowerment is processed through the adaptations of Buddhist teachings. Buddhist canonical literature declares that for establishing peace in society and bringing about the progress at all levels, youth should be empowered. The value of Buddha's teachings such as social relations, social duties, obligations, sociology, ecology, economic guidelines are practically acceptable philosophy until now. And if the youth comprehend the teachings of Buddha, it will help them achieve happiness and the world will more and more peaceful. The teachings of Buddha offer a handy tool of practical solutions to the youth and also to the society simultaneously. A deep look into Buddhism will enable the society to remove the ignorance towards distracted youths and rekindle the spirit of wisdom towards the roles and responsibilities of the youths. Now, what is the Buddhist perspective on causes of disengagements among the youths? According to Buddhist perspective, youth empowerment can be achieved through destruction of depravatives, that is called asavas. And that asav, avajja comes into existence due to that asav. So depravatives must be destroyed. If depravatives must be destroyed, then avijja also destroyed. So depravatives are kam asav, that is desired attachments. Bhav asav means desire, attachment, and will for existence. Ditha asav means holding views such as world is eternal or non-eternal, or that the world will come to an end or will not come to an end. Avidya asav means ignorance of sorrow, its cause, its distinction, and means of its existence. That is the Four Noble Truths. And these are the kalesas that have been discussed here, which have already discussed by the first speakers about the youth's problem. Buddha set forward a certain tools for the techniques to overcome the desires and all these things. For this, they have given, I have opted for 3 seals or 3 points: seal, samadhi, and pragya. Seal means desisting from committing all antisocial deeds or activities. Concentration or samadhi, it is an advanced effort by which the roots of all the kleshas are destroyed. And once these two are followed, then wisdom can be achieved automatically. Seal, samadhi directly bring true wisdom. Besides, Buddhist describes 5 faculties which can play a major role among the youth to put them into the right path. And those faculties are followed like the faith involves the knowing and getting rid of defilements. Vigor involves the striving to prevent the arousal of evils. Mindfulness involves 4 adaptations with respect to body, mind, and this. And then concentration. One keeps himself aloof from pleasure of senses and aloof from emotions. Mind becomes tranquil. That is already discussed by Dhammahansa ji. And wisdom consists of close investigation of mental states, discernment, discrimination, clear understanding, and comprehension. From all these things, we can achieve the state of 4 sublime states, that is called Brahma Vihar. And then you can attain Metta, Karuna, Mudita, and Upekha. Youth empowerment and Buddhist Sutta. For this, I have opted for 4 sutta taken from the Pali canonical literature, that were Mangal Sutta, Prabhav Sutta, Vyagpad Sutta, and Sigalavad Sutta. This sutta gives him, here I would like to discuss that through these suttas we can interact with the youths. Tell them about this sutta, through this sutta, why they are not responding to the social issues. Application and immediate fruitful use by youth, barring any discrimination. Teaching includes most basic blessings or useful practical guidelines. Each and every one should have led gradually to the highest qualities required to win the ultimate blessings of Nibbana. This is the complete manual for building up successful and stable life. Ideal set forth may bring progress for the individual and the society, nation, and mankind. Further, this sutta also describes that most of the evils one always hate good one. They consider honest people as their opponents. Even the honest one are afraid of them and humble them. them everything, every time, everywhere. Here, this sutta also discusses about association and disassociation with fool person and association with wise person. How your association can impact upon your behavior. If you are associated with fools, you will get bad actions. Then next sutta was the Prabhav Sutta, which explains the cause of downfall and guides how to avoid those causes of downfall in all your activities. Through this, one by one, all the causes have been discussed, and then their effect upon the youth have been discussed in this sutta. So I have tried to discuss this in this sutra. And this sutra mentions follow easily known in the progressive one. Easily known is the declining one. One who loves the Dhamma progresses, one who hates the Dhamma falls. This knowing well these causes of downfall in the world, the noble sage endowed with insight shares a happy realm. Then the Sigalova Sutta. This Sigalova Sutta this is also called a Gihi Dhamma, that is the code of discipline for lay people. And in this, whole society was divided into 6 cardinal points, that is 4 directions and 1 nadir and 1 hill. And through this, everybody has been covered. And youths are supposed to give respect to all of them. This will create a harmonious society among the world. The Buddha was approached by, this is the Vyagapaj Sutta. In this, a rich person, Digajanu, who asks some advice for lay people who enjoy a luxurious life. So this sutta is an instruction to rich householders, how to preserve and increase their prosperity and happiness, avoiding the loss of wealth, further describe the condition that improve the welfare of lay people. How wealth, both material and spiritual, can be surely accumulated by anyone in a righteous way to create a harmonious society and peaceful world. The above mentioned for spiritual and ethical development. All the suttas mentioned here are shining examples that reflect such criticism in entirely unwarranted way. The Buddha has shown the clear way. We just only need to follow all these guidelines, and practice of which brings immediate result to empower the youth of today to create a peaceful and harmonious society. So we should shun evil attempts to do good deeds. From those good actions, your mind always are purified and going on the right path to achieve the happiness. That was the teaching of the Buddha, also mentioned in Dhammapad. Sappa papas akarnam kusalas upsampada sachit pariyodanam etam buddha sasanam. The Buddha taught that we should be near the wise men who understand the benefits of present life. Do not follow the wrong way. Do not violate the law of the country. And do not disturb the people around us. The Buddhist teachings are representation of wise of great knowledge with wisdom and the right way, especially young people who orientate and practice it to have a real happy life. But matter here is to transfer those experiences to youth, can share their understanding to their generation, practices so that the society shall be at peace and spiritual development. The young generation really understands the meaning and the value of Buddha's teachings. Society will reduce problems, and Buddhist discourses with young people become better and better day by day. Thank you.
Thank you very much. He's saying that the important part is that consider youth as a solution, not as a problem. Because that's also, we need to know how to embrace these people and then use our Buddhist compassion and wisdom to educate our children. So with that remark, I'd like to invite our next speaker, most Venerable Kupyawate Bodhananda Thero, please.
Most Venerable Mahasangha, and dear friends with Dhamma. First of all, I would like to thank the organizing committee for giving me this opportunity to take part in such an important and prestigious event, and it's truly an honor for me to share my insight with all of you. How can we define the term youth? How can we define the term youth? It's a period of transition from the dependence of childhood to adulthood's independence and awareness of our interdependency as members of a community. The period of youth is a period of change. During this period, he or she goes through noticeable physical, psychological, and social changes, and it's important for us to understand them properly. At this stage, they tend to be more independent, more curious, in experiencing novelty and influenced by peers and social media. They like to take risks, exhibits strong and intense emotions, and like to take a risk in making decisions. Why do these changes take place? It's because they need to be prepared to face future challenges. If they can use these new qualities in a good manner, it can bring them success. So, how can they use the new characteristic in a virtuous manner? How can we assist them to do so? They need good and wholesome advice, guidance, positive role models, and they also should be encouraged to communicate with peer groups with good skills and attributes. Because the most valuable asset of any country is their youth population. Having this in mind, our organization is fully devoted to build youth to reach this point, and even further by providing a one-year treatment period so that they will grow for the betterment of themselves, the society, and the nation as a whole. Because they have been neglected by society and no one is willing to help them, our organization took on the challenge to mold their lives. What are the challenges they face that prevents their success? I have listed. Outmost common issues they encounter with: failure to succeed in education system, family problems, substance abuse, harmful sexual behaviors, and suicidal education, etc. So, why do we need an alternative? I think the current education system has failed to address these problems, and youth population has lost way. The commercialized modern education system only prepares a child for a care in order to be more productive in generating profit. This focus on materialistic viewpoint only teaches the child to generate profit, not happiness and fulfillment. Therefore, they turn into dangerous alternatives like drug abuse, wrong sexual behaviors, and so on. So the need for the alternative method to vital to guide them into the correct path. I would like to take about Mitro means compassionate friend. In the 80s, there was no methodical research and evidence-based scientific program to rehabilitation drug addicts and criminals. The only option they had was imprisonment. I decided to address this social issue and based on my knowledge on Buddhist philosophy. I am implementing rehabilitation program theme, rehabilitation through spirituality. Doing all, therefore, I think I am much forced to talk about how we can empower youth through Buddhist education. Doing all the good, nothing all evil, and purifying your mind is called Buddhism. I think this definition covers each and every aspect of life. Good deeds generate good results. Bad or defiled deeds generate negative results. We can convey this notion to our younger generation. I think they will think twice before that act. In the modern society, people act with intentions of selfishness, greed, and the narrow focus on self-advancement. But in Buddhism, encourage us to follow the middle path. If we do so, we could strike a balance between spirituality, materialistic gains, and happiness. Buddhism does not hinder financial or industrial development most of us accept to achieve. It's a wrong point of view people have about Buddhism. But Buddhism teaches us how to find a balance. Mainly, Buddhist education teaches us to redefine our values and priorities. Lord Buddha often held 5 positive traits as noble. I think that's the foundation we can use. Faith, Shraddha, virtue, Sila, generosity, Tyaga, knowledge, Sutta, wisdom, Panya. These are the 5 qualities and they cover every aspect of life. The above mentioned qualities can be considered as the foundation of the education system based on Buddhist philosophy. The main objective of Buddhist education is to instill values in person, not mere financial success. Over the past 30 years, I have been using this model in my rehabilitation program to educate resident children on how to transform their lives. I would like to share my knowledge with all of you. For someone to accept Buddhist philosophy as a way of life, he should build faith and confidence in the triple gem. He should become a devotee. Our resident children engage in routine morning and evening Buddhist chanting and offerings to the righteous person. These materials act in the foundation in building faith and confidence. They perform chanting, we will call it the Buddha Vandana. By doing so, they gain a calmness and inner bliss, which encourages them to learn more about Buddhist ways and guide their lives in a more spiritual manner. In addition, other than the chanting, we connect knowledge and spirit-based lectures and interactive convocations to help understand how this way of life can actually be practical and helpful in our day-to-day life. All resident children have lost their way due to the facts and they were unable to choose from right and wrong. Based on faith confidence, the students are inspired to become accomplished in virtue, Sila. The 5 precepts are moral guidance followed by any person who has faith in Lord Buddha's teaching. I think these 5 precepts have answers to all the problems an individual goes to in the modern society. These 5 precepts are the pillars in which our rehabilitation program is built on. We use various methods like counseling, group counseling, friendly pull-ups, teachings, and other means in order to help the youth community to accept these precepts as way of life and to build their lives around them. I encourage all Buddhist leaders when dealing with yours to present these precepts not as a rule to follow but as the true way of living, to attract the youth so that they will see the true happiness in following this way. Generosity is a vital characteristic trait in order to remove negative qualities like selfishness, greed, and narrow focus of self-advancement that dominate in present-day society. Generosity can bring happiness because based on the law of cause-effect, good deeds generates good results. In our center, we hold various programs to teach resident children about the importance of generosity. They are taught how to care for their parents, elderly, and their teachers, and encouraged to take part in voluntary social welfare activities. Mother's Day, Teachers' Day, Elders' Day, like that. Celebrations are some of few events that we organize to develop this characteristic in our youth. Individuals who were once considered as a means to the society are bring to the model citizen who does their part of the society living. Buddhism is not in mere religion, it's way of life. It once needs to become a practical Buddhist. He needs to learn about the core concept in Buddhism. If he gains sufficient knowledge about Buddhism, he can apply it in his day-to-day lives. In our rehabilitation programs, knowledge is delivered through seminars, lectures, and special poetry programs. Core concepts such as 4 noble truths, dependent origination, and 3 marks of extinctions and introduced to them gradually. These concepts should be understood through practical experiencing through one's self. That realizing is called wisdom. Wisdom is the direct personal insight into the truth of Dhamma. Wisdom should be gained through direct personal experience. One should learn how to integrate the knowledge he gained into his day-to-day activities, and this helps him to gain wisdom. We provide our resident children with knowledge needed to practice meditation through 10-day meditation programs, discussion, and special poetry program. In consolation, I would like to say that giving wisdom is ultimate in Buddhism. This is the ultimate goal of education system based on Buddhist principles. He can use the wisdom he has gained to see the world differently. Be more selfless than being selfish. Be more generous and compassionate towards others, to spread the knowledge he has gained to others. By doing so, he will become an answer rather than being the issue itself. As the Buddha preached in his moment of awakening, there arose in me vision, knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and light. As my final few words, I would like to invite all of you who are present here to join hands together to fight and stand the ground against drug abuse, which is repeatedly destroying the world youth, the future of our nations, and the values that we hold as humans. Let us all pose all current endeavors and help each others to irrigate these manners to build a harmonious way of life for our youth through the teachings of our Master, Lord Buddha. May the triple gems bless of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Most Venerable Bodhananda, for his giving us a lot of information about how we can use the teachings, and also just talking especially here like children are in a growing stage. So we have to make use of common sense because they are physically, emotionally, psychologically, and they are in the process of this changing. So as adults, of course, we do have the experience, and rather than trying to force them to do this and that, and then try to understand them in this transition period, I think that's a very good point, that understanding the people who we want to help. We think we are helping people, sometimes we are not really helping, rather than making them kind of more stressful sometimes. That's what I feel when I talk to the children. Our next speaker is Long Wang. Mr. Long Wang, please, you have the floor. Now go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Dear teachers and friends, these past few days have been so moved by seeing all the young volunteers helping us, serving us, staying up late at night at the airport, picking us up, or working all the night while we take rest. So I just want to express my gratitude to all the youth power that's fueling our conference experience. Thank you. And would like to share a few stories today. After college, I went along the conventional path of starting my management consulting job in San Francisco. And then one day a friend gifted me this book called Highway Dharma Letters. It's the story of two American monks doing a 3-step, 1-bow pilgrimage along the Californian coast in the 1970s. And they bowed for almost 3 years and over 800 miles. For many weeks, I would start the day by reading a few pages from their bowing journals, and the stories of their cultivation shifted something in me. So up until that point, the central question in my life has always been, what do I want to do with my life? And then slowly the new question became, if I give myself more fully, how can this body and mind be of service, be an instrument? So about a year later, I received an inner calling to return home. I sensed that there is this ecological and spiritual awakening among the young generation worldwide, and I feel Mother Earth is calling me back to China, where I'm from, to join in the global awakening from there. So after a few months of inner preparation, I decided to quit my job and then go on this open-ended, open-hearted pilgrimage. In the past 2 years, the journey has taken me through 16 countries and over 10,000 kilometers. So this is the general route and some of the tan lines from the bike shorts. So I have always been inspired by reading about the stories of the monks going on the alms round, but I wasn't sure that it would work in a modern, non-Buddhist context. So I decided to give it a try by never staying in a hotel along the pilgrimage. So every day after cycling for about 60 to 100 kilometers, I would go into small villages and knock on the doors and ask, "Good evening, I'm Zilong from China. I'm on a bicycling pilgrimage around the world. May I sleep in your garden tonight?" And people are mostly a little surprised by the unusual request, and most would say no. But every single night, all throughout the past 2 years, someone said yes. So this alone has given me so much faith in the goodness of humanity. So I've knocked on about over 1,000 doors and stayed with 200 different families around the world, in all kind of places I can and cannot imagine, like a goat barn, above a goat barn, or in a tree house. So in the beginning, when I knock on the doors, I'm a little hesitant and embarrassed to ask and will feel rejected if people say no. And then slowly I start to shift the inner orientation. Instead of focusing on expecting some outer results for them to say yes, I focus on generating a sense of metta in my heart as I knock on the doors and silently pray for the family, no matter how they interact with me. And that has totally changed the experience, because if the family say no, great, it gives me one more opportunity to pray for another family. And surprisingly, the yes rate also went up as I stopped expecting people to say yes. Now, I'm a minimalist traveler, and there's no physical gift I can give to my host. So one thing I realize I can give is my full presence. I can quiet my mind and then wish them well in my heart and just hold the space to listen to them fully without judgment. And then the host would speak for hours and hours and pouring their hearts out. And sometimes the wife would share something, and then the husband would look at her and say, well, you never told me that. I never knew that. People are so rarely truly listened to, and I felt that truly listening is such a gift that we can all give. And having these intimate dip into people's lives, into different families, also made the first noble truth came alive. Beforehand, I didn't really know what was suffering. But for these 200 plus families I've stayed with, I cannot think of a single family who does not suffer from either cancer or accidents or abuse or generational trauma or lawsuits. Not even a single one. And these are the outer sufferings, and then the inner suffering, the longing for peace, is even more heartbreaking. Those who are poor are sometimes obviously suffering, but those who are rich are suffering sometimes even more. I remember knocking on doors in Malibu, California, one of the richest towns in the US, and that was the hardest day to find a place to stay. The Ocean Boulevard is filled with luxury cars and multi-million-dollar mansions. I must have knocked on over 10 doors until finally someone said yes. And he only said yes because he was a little drunk. And the whole night, he kept saying himself, I can't believe I let you in. I can't believe I let you into my house. And then he's a real estate developer, just came back from his private cruise trip, but his teenage son has run away and refused to talk to him. He asked me if I would pray for his son's safety. And the next morning when we said goodbye, he had tears in his eyes. He said, thank you, thank God that you came to my house. You gave me an opportunity to be my best self. It's been a long time. So there's this deep longing for human connection and to practice generosity and kindness, but we so rarely get these opportunities these days. Now, as I'm a receiver along the trip, almost like a monk going on alms round, and I remember the Buddha taught that the merits from a generous act is proportional to the virtue of the receiver. So as the receiver, and I'm receiving so much every day, I feel it's my duty to cultivate at my best so that the giver can receive the maximum merits that's due to their kindness. So that has become the greatest inspiration for my own cultivation, to not shortchange the people who are kind to me. Another story about washing dishes. So I grew up in China as the only son, and I don't think I've ever done any dishes at home. But I fell in love with washing dishes in someone else's home in the US. So in the dot-com boom, there was a few friends in the Silicon Valley. They get together to meditate for an hour every Wednesday night, and then they go around in a circle of sharing, and then the mother of one of the boys feeds the 2-3 kids with a home-cooked vegetarian meal. The only thing is they left their front door open so that anyone who wants to come can join. And they've continued that practice until today, for 20 years, not missing every single Wednesday. And these days, every Wednesday, up to 60 and 80 people squeeze into this ordinary living room. And they still do 1 hour of silence, meditation, an hour of sharing in a circle, and the mother still cooks a home-cooked vegetarian meal for everyone. Now it takes her a whole day to prepare. So they now call it awaken circles, and this idea has spread organically to nearly 100 cities around the world, all offered as a labor of love in people's living room and open to anyone who want to come. So I started to attend the circle when I moved to San Francisco. And after the meal, there's always a friendly elbow fight at the kitchen sink to wash the dishes for everyone, because we were so moved by the generosity and love in that space, and we want to give back. So that's where I fell in love with wash dishes, and I got so addicted to washing dishes that I do it wherever I go, and certainly along the bicycling pilgrimage. And I realized that if you wash a family's dishes, you solve about 30% of the family disputes. And then I even continue the practice or my obsession when I go back home in China. I wash dishes with lots of joy and try to do it mindfully. And my dad was so surprised that his spoiled only son now does dishes with, as a mindfulness practice and with so much joy. He was so surprised that he decided to sign up for a 10-day Vipassana course. So the host of those awakened circles, many of them happen to be Vipassana meditators, but they keep the circle non-denominational, just open to all. My dad heard about these circles and he signed up for a 10-day. He came back a totally changed person. I never expected him to be interested in meditation because he grew up as a staunch atheist in China, was trained as an engineer, very skeptical of all my spiritual volunteer stuff, and was not very happy with my decision to quit the nice job and ride a bicycle around the world. But he came back from the meditation course, he quit drinking, quit smoking, became a vegetarian, started to meditate 2 hours a day, and soon quit his job and moved with my mom to the countryside to help start an eco-village. So now I feel even more committed to wash dishes wherever I go, to repay the debt of gratitude to my parents and to the host of those awakened circles. So does knocking on doors and washing dishes count as Buddhist education? I don't know, but these are certainly some of the most humbling and empowering learning experience I've ever had. And the youth today, as we have heard, they're less and less interested maybe in traditions or rituals or sermons and theories. Perhaps we can help them to find creative ways to apply Dharma and live Dharma in their own life so that it comes alive for them. And as we change the youth, we also change their families. And as we change ourselves, we change the world. Well, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Wang. Again, that's called like a new age or new ways of teaching Dharma. So it's, and also, so I think we all have to go home and learn how to wash our dishes. See, don't let them sit in there for 3 days and then watch TV or somewhere else and come back and all get molded. So it's time to learn to wash dishes again, huh? Okay, our last speaker here, because we are running out of a little bit of time, and then we need to have finish this by 11:30 latest. So the last speaker is Mr. Kevin Ching Kai Ying. Okay, please.
So I think Zilong is going to wash all the dishes after this. Am I right? So please eat more. Use all the plate and he's going to wash it. No, just kidding. 1.1 billion people. Almost 1/5 of the world population today. Is what are we going to talk about? Youth. We always say that youth is someone who is ranged at an age limitation. But ladies and gentlemen, who do you think that you are youth? Please raise your hand up. Anyone? 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 You see, people give a notion that youth must be at 15 to 24. I don't believe that. You know, Venerable Sheikh Guang Ping just said that he's the youngest of all. I'm the oldest of all of them. Spiritually, yes, definitely. I am only 20 years old and I'm standing here today to talk. Not because I'm a scholar, not because I'm a good Buddhist, but as a Buddhist youth. So, how are we going to do this? We need to find these special occasions so that we can embrace the youth. Youth are people who are actually not childish enough to be a kid and not matured enough to be an adult. That's called youth. Youth are a person who can be childish to live, but yet they are the center of absolute everything in the society. And that's why it is important for the youth to make sure that this all youth stands an important opportunity in this society. We say, oh, when we are a kid, we dare to dream. When we are younger than 15, we dare to dream. I dream to be a millionaire. I dream to be a policeman. I dream to even to be president or even a monk. But we dream, we never achieve. When we are past 35 years old and above, we tend to want to settle down. We climb ladders. We fight. We compete in the society. And there's no time for us to think about. And after 60 years of age, we went through every single thing and we sit down and thought. We reflect. And there's no time for us. So, a youth is a particular moment that can serve. A fragile mind that can be changed and manipulated at any stance. So, if there is a good opportunity, we should definitely change the youth mind to be better and to serve the society better. I am speaking as a youth, so I hope that my voice can be heard. These people are giving suggestion. These venerables are giving lifelong suggestion. But I felt that we youth have something to say. We have a voice to share. So what is our weakness in today's life? Today, technological changes, everything changed. Youth has become a piece of wood that everyone thinks that they have low EQ, they have low emotional control, they are arrogant, they act alone, they wanted to do whatsoever they want. And they tend to make wrong decisions without any guideline. And so how we are going to change this youth if we say that they are so important into the society? How? Sending them to school? Make them study more? Is that the only way? I believe that that's the way to increase their IQ, not EQ. And to increase their EQ, religion is important. And definitely Buddhism is an important part of fostering or improve and develop a youth. So why Buddhism? People ask me, why do you choose Buddhism? Isn't that Buddhism for old people only? If you have white hair, you can be a Buddhist. In Europe, I tend to ask, why there's so little youth in the European country? What do they tell me? They say that Buddhist is for old people. And I said, what? In Asia, there's so many youth joining the program. Because they say Buddhists spends a lot of time in meditation, in reading sutra. That's why no time. We have to make a lot of decisions in life. That's why only after 65 years old, you can sit down. You have time to think. That's why there's a little population of Buddhist youth in Europe and a declining population in Asia. But we need to change. We need to change. As a Buddhist, we need to change to serve the youth better. By how? By letting them knowing themselves. Letting them know what are their character in this world, what are their weaknesses, and how they can actually pull off in this society. We purify their mind with the 5 precepts. It is just a limitation for them. It's not a punishment for them. You don't say that, oh, you don't drink. You say that, please think that why drinking is bad. You tell Europeans that, hey, come on, don't drink. They will tell you why. Just don't drink. That's what the sutra say. Don't drink. That's not going to cure the case. That is going to make it worse. So therefore, we need to think in a way that incorporates sutra into youth. And we amend. By how do we amending? We amend a youth by actually asking them. We don't punish them. Like what they say. You see, Venerable Hansa just point out a very good point. When you do meditation, my back ache lah, cannot lah. That's what the youth is going to say. He's just going to sit 5 minutes, 10 minutes, collapse. What do? As a teacher, you slap, you cane. But is that going to help? It's not going to help a youth because they are arrogant. They know they have a self-esteem. But instead, we tell them, not giving punishment, we're adding water into the cup. And that's a brilliant idea from Venerable Hansa. And today, youth changes. So therefore, we need to change as Buddhists as well, to incorporate. We need to strengthen them. By strengthening them, we get to understand them more. Whatsoever soft skill they are not learning in the classroom, we try to incorporate in their life. Why need to love the senior? Why need to love your parents? In the European country, no one knows. You ask them, where are you living? I'm living alone. I don't want to live with my parents. They are very noisy. They quarrel every time. But is it true, Buddhist education, we only can serve? We can ask them, what have their parents done to them as to make them today? And by sharing, if we don't share, there's no point of being a Buddhist. Because Buddhist doesn't mean that you self-enlighten yourself. You share. You give the chances. You give the space. You give the space to all the youth. And that's by how youth get their own identity. They get their influence. And one day, they can become someone better. So the mindset of the youth today is what I want to talk about. And I hope that ladies and gentlemen down the floor can take back to your country and exercise them. What youth are looking today is fun, more fun, attractive. They don't want dull meditation. That's real. But you say, oh, come on, Kevin, don't do meditation, then you are not the real Buddhist. No. You can do something closer to meditation. You can do walking meditation. You can do painting meditation. You can do sleeping meditation. But don't let them sleep, please. The youth, they can just walk for 5 minutes. They can just stand for 5 minutes and digest, reflect. And eventually they get their mindfulness and peace in the mind. And that's important. By reducing the quantity of the time, we can improve the quality of the mindfulness in their mind. They wanted a safe situation to prepare their future life. Like Venerable said just now, he gives space to them. He gives a safe environment to them. Let them do. Show them. Give them space. Make sure that they grow. Give them the authority. Give them the power. And by doing that, they can develop. And one day, they can become one of our leaders in the society. The third one is very important. Self-identity. I believe that this is one of our weakest points in the Buddhist status right now. We don't create enough self-identity to the youth. The venerables are very honored, but the youth sometimes get neglected. And they are not part of this family. They are not part of this big project or this religion sometimes. And we need to incorporate them to give them self-identity. When they do well, give them a prize. When they do bad, encourage them. That's how it shows that we, as a Buddhist, we don't punish people. We enrich people. And so one day, they can have their self-identity in the Buddhist. They don't need to go to pray for 5 times a day. They don't need to wear anything on their shirt or whatsoever. They just need to make sure in their heart that is the Buddha's teaching, and to make sure their mind is always peaceful. They need a flexible platform. Don't stress them. When they didn't do well, don't stress them. They hate people stressing them. Don't push them. Let them walk step by step, one by one. Like Venerable Hansa just said. When they can't meditate, don't push them. Help them. Give them the way. Show them the path. And fostering the relationship between the Buddhists. It's one of the major problems we face now, and it's supposed to incorporate into the mindset of everyone today. I look into every religion, even though I'm a Buddhist. I look into Christianity, Muslims, and why the population of Christianity and Muslim is increasing. The youth population is increasing, and the Buddhist population is decreasing in Europe, in South America. The reason behind it is they don't have a relationship, they don't have love, they don't have the person to fall by when they need. We always tend to just fall by the venerables that we trusted. But Buddhists ourselves, we need to learn. We need to incorporate them. We need to make them our brothers and sisters. We talk to them. Only that youth are able to come in. Youth are able to rejoin this wonderful family. I would like to show you one of the camp that we do this in this university. It is the ASEAN Youth for Peace camp led by Venerable Hansa and my team. We tried to pull 13 countries of youth into one place here. We chose not the best but normal person from 13 countries to come here, to be a family, to be brothers and sisters for life. By how? Self-identity. People don't know where they are, and how are we going to locate them? Venerable Napan has used his way to let them draw the river of their life. This is the drawing of different people. So definitely there's different type of river coming up from their life. There'll be hardship, there'll be sadness, there'll be happiness. But eventually come as whole as one person. And everyone is unique. We show them that self-identity is to measure. It's to locate yourself to know that how many weaknesses you have, how many advantages you have. And how can you change these weaknesses day by day to become the positivity in your life? And to smile like the person he should be. Don't worry and be happy. We let them, we give them a space, a flexible space to have fun. We let them be crazy as they are. We let them show their true self. In the temple, we don't usually show our true self, the youth. They might be jumping around and hooping around, but they need to sit down for long. Therefore, in the camp, we let them jump around. We let them sing. We let them have fun. We let them to know where their limit is. And self-enhancement. We give them development scheme. These people, they come from different, diverse backgrounds. And by knowing each other weaknesses and positivity, learning and engage and fostering the bond, they eventually get to become a big family. Together, stronger. Our youth in the camp actually went to see Sakit and understand that this place is kind of familiar. They went there. Most of the developed countries, such as Singapore, their youth never been to a paddy field. They doesn't know what is a paddy field. They doesn't know there's sea snail, river snail in the paddy field. They never tried before. But it's because of these challenges, and we pull them together, we pull the string together to make sure that these youth can today keep contacting and keep striving and strive for the best for themselves. And they are ready to make sure to face the society. Lastly, to build relationship, which is one thing that I want to stress today. Youth, they're not to speak. They're not to tell you what is happening. They only try to hide themselves. They try to hide their identity. And how do you make sure that he or she is safe to tell you something? You give them trust. By giving them trust, everyone sitting down together to spill out their deepest secret in their life. It might be different. And from the secret, you will know that you're actually lucky and should enable to love yourself. So ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, I just want all of you to remember that the youth, they are waiting for a better tomorrow. I hope that all of you today can go back with different ideas, with our voices, to create a platform, to create some idea that can help us to face tomorrow. And with all, I thank you for listening to my speech. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Kevin. And I know he has so many things to say, but as a youth, it's a lot of experience that we can share. But then thank you very much. Thank you. And then, of course, the time is also limited now. I don't think we have time for questions and answers at this time because we are in Thailand and also we had to eat lunch before 12 or something. So I think it's time to wrap up this session. So please give a big applause to our panel speakers, and then wonderful Sekwamping, and then from Singapore, from Thailand, from India, from Sri Lanka, from China, from UK, and also there's a wonderful job that they have done. So thank you very much again.
So thank you very much for this panel discussion. For next, may I invite the most honorable Professor Dr. Prama Bandit, Director of theฬาลงกรณราชวิทยาลัย University, go up on the stage to present some present to the moderators as well as to present some to the panel discussion, the panelists. Thank you.
ค่ะในโอกาสนี้นะคะขอกราบอาราธนาศาสตราจารย์ดร.พระพรหมบัณฑิตอธิการบดีมหาวิทยาลัยมหาจุฬาลงกรณราชวิทยาลัยมอบของที่ระลึกแด่ผู้ร่วมงานอภิปรายร่วมทุกท่านค่ะ
So firstly, present to our active moderator, the most honorable Pante Chao-Chu from United States of America, USA. Next, the most venerable Dr. Sek Kwang Peng, our panelist from Singapore. Followed by the most venerable Associate Professor Dr. Hansa Thammahaso from Thailand. And Professor Dr. Arvind Singh from India. Next, Venerable Kappiya Watte Pothananda Thero from Sri Lanka. Followed by Mr. Zailong Wang from China. Then our last panelist, Mr. Kevin Singh from Malaysia. So thank you very much once again to our active moderator, Most Venerable Pante Chaochu, and all the panelists. We have gained a lot of information from this panel discussion about how Buddhist education should be carried out in order to empowering to the youth of the world. Now, all of the panel discussion members will be take a group photo. So once again, thank you very much on this remarkable panel discussion, and yes, it's very impressive picture. So all of the panelists have been invited from various countries, such as USA, from Singapore, from Thailand, Sri Lanka, India, China, and Malaysia. So thank you very much.
ขอบคุณค่ะและในช่วงต่อไปนะคะกราบนมัสการพระเดชพระคุณศาสตราจารย์ดร.พระพรหมบัณฑิตพระเถรานุเถระฉันภัตตาหารเพลและกราบเรียนเชิญแขกผู้มีเกียรติทุกท่านนะคะร่วมรับประทานอาหารค่ะที่ชั้น1อาคารมวก48พรรษาแห่งนี้ค่ะขอเรียนเชิญค่ะ
So ladies and gentlemen, that is aimed for the morning session, and then same as yesterday, the midday lunch offering for the monks and luncheon from the laity has been prepared and ready already for and at the first floor. So please enjoy your lunch, and the next program in the afternoon session will start at 1 o'clock. So please come back here around 12:30. Please come back here at the 12:30.
ค่ะเวลาประมาณ 12:30 น.นะคะจะมีการประชุมในภาคต่อไปค่ะ